Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another video. This video is addressing a question that I got in my last video. And the question was, so should I be aggressive rather than passive in order to be successful? So my last video was about how being a good boy or good girl is blocking our success. And then this question came, which is a brilliant question. There were many brilliant questions, and this was one of them. So before I start, my name is Dragana Spika, and I'm a rapid transformational therapist and hypnotherapist. So should I be aggressive rather than passive in order to be successful? Brilliant question. So it is not about adding more shoulds. You should do this, you should do that, you should do this in order to be successful, you should do this in order to earn more money. This is not about adding more shoulds. What we should do in order to have a success out of this world that you can't even imagine, your brain cannot even grasp it at this moment. In order to get to that level of success, you actually need to remove all the shoulds and connect to what truly feels good to you. I will explain. So when we were children, we knew exactly what makes us feel good, and we knew what doesn't make sense to us, what doesn't feel good, and we would express it. And we knew we were born with this feeling. This feels good to me, this is what I want, and this does not feel good to me, and I do not want that. We were born with this core belief. I'm good enough, and this is what I want, and I deserve it. And I'm good enough, this is what I don't want, and I do not want it. And then what happens is, throughout our life, especially in our early childhood, at the age of 2, 3, 4, 5, we adopt these beliefs. We actually adopt this, we adopt these layers on top of this core knowing and feeling what feels good. There are all these shoulds. You should do this in order for me to like you. You should do this in order for others to approve of you and accept you. You should do this in order to be successful. You should do this in order to be happy. You should do this. This is the right way, and so on. So we actually need to remove all these shoulds, get rid of all these shoulds in order to access our ability to be successful beyond our imagination. I will explain. In order to be successful beyond our thinking, to get to the level of success that we want, we need two things. We need to connect with our true feeling of what feels good to us, our true feeling of what we want from this life, we can call it purpose, we can call it motivation, we can call it the purpose of our life. And the second thing is we need the energy, we need to have access to the energy behind it that will give the flow. So we need to have access to the energy that we can invest so we can have the flow taking us towards this purpose, towards this success that let's call it success, that we are after. If we say success in our life is having certain experiences that we want in our life that we feel would make us happy, or give us this feeling of fulfillment. Defining success is another topic. I can make another video on that. So basically, we were born with this core knowing and feeling what feels good, and this energy that we were so energetic when we were children. We wanted to do certain things, and we had so much energy, we've invested in it. And then comes these shoulds. Now what we need to do is remove these shoulds so we can have access to all this energy and reconnect with our purpose that will tell us what is this road that I need to take so I can be truly happy and get the success that I want. So why do we need to get rid of these shoulds? Saying to ourselves every day, you should do this, you should do that. We are sending your brain a message. The way you are, the way you do things is not good enough. You should be something different. Meaning currently you're not good enough. So, I should be aggressive. That is success. That is leading people to success. Meaning, but I'm not aggressive, so meaning I'm not good enough. So let me push and try to be like that. Let me adopt this should and try to be like that because they told me, they made me believe that this is the road I need to take. This is how I need to be, because being the way I am is not good enough. So you're sending yourself a message that you're not good enough. And that is making you feel less confident about who you are. It's just giving you less confidence. And that is not serving your journey towards success. The second thing is, it is energy draining. If you stop and think, every time you're trying to be something that does not feel good to you, if we follow what feels good to us, it is effortless, it is natural, feels natural. And if we start applying these shoulds, for example, I need to be aggressive. Oh my God, it's really, I don't feel like it, but you should be aggressive. Okay, let me go and be aggressive every day. It takes so much energy in order to support this should that is not feeling good to you, is not effortless. It takes so much energy that at the end of the day, you're just drained. Even halfway through the day, you're already drained because you're trying to be something that is not natural to you. And it's just energy draining. And when your energy is drained, you don't have enough energy to support this flow that you need in order to go towards your success. The third thing is, when you feel that all day long, every day, you wake up and you say, I should do this, I should do that, I should be aggressive, it feels like you're not free. Deep down inside, it feels wrong. It feels bad because it feels like you're not free. When you feel like you're not free, you feel trapped. You feel like there's no point. You feel like you've lost your way. You feel like stuck. You feel like you've lost your purpose. If this is how you feel, so you've lost the connection to your true purpose. You've lost the connection to what feels good to you because you're listening to these shoulds. And if you have lost this connection, you've lost the feeling of you've lost the connection with your purpose. You have this feeling, what is the purpose of life? You just lost all the motivation. You've lost the willingness to live almost. If this is how you feel, stop immediately, stop everything and question, what are these shoulds that I'm following in my life? I need to stop that. And I need to reconnect with my wants. And you need to reconnect with your feel-goods. So stop and question, what are these shoulds? Oh, these voices, you should do this, you should do that. No, what is it that feels good to me? And you'll find a way. Because you will have so much energy now that gets liberated because the shoulds are draining your energy. So you will have so much energy to invest once you start following what feels good to you. So as I said, when you're a child, you know what feels good and you just follow it and you have so much energy to follow it. And as a child, the state you're in without these shoulds is you know what feels good to you. You follow it. You are so motivated. It feels exciting. It feels beautiful. It feels you're energized. You go and learn, and then maybe you fall and get back up. You fall again. You try new things. You're constantly learning new things. You're constantly evolving and expanding, and then you fall again, and then you get back up, and then you try a new thing as a child. You fall back up, and you rise up again. And you know, as a child, you know that that is the normal process, but you are so happy in this process. So you are successful. So you're going towards your success. You are successful. So this is what success is all about. It's not about being passive or aggressive. It is about reconnecting with your feeling. What is it that feels good to you? And having the energy within you that will help this flow towards your success beyond your imagination. I'll give you an example what happened to me. So before becoming a therapist and hypnotherapist, I worked in investment banking for 10 years actually. So at the beginning of my career, there was a lot of this noise about you should do this, you should do that, this is normal, that is normal. So I was following all these shoulds because I wanted to be successful. I wanted to have abundance and money and wealth that I can use to afford nice things. That's beautiful. So I followed all these shoulds. You should work long hours. You should hustle. You should be stressed. You should invest energy, time. You should eat crappy food on your desk every day because you should invest a lot of time in all those tasks. You should push and stress and do anything you can to get a promotion, and that's what was happening every day. So after a certain time, I've realized some events in my life made me just stop and think, and I was asking myself, what are you doing? What are you doing? I realized, like, I do not feel good working all day long, being exhausted, not meeting my human basic needs of having fresh air and nice food and taking time to chew my food properly. That didn't feel good to me, but they told me I should, so I followed. Then I said, no, that doesn't feel good to me. What feels good to me? What feels good to me is having normal working hours, doing my best, earning well because I am investing energy into my work, so I expect to be paid well, and that is what feels good to me. And I made that decision, and then I went, and by the way, in the previous situation where I was hustling and bustling, I felt very stuck. I felt really stuck. And then when I made the decision, okay, I'm not going to do what other people are telling me I should, or the society, or just me observing others observing the others makes you believe you should do the same thing because they're telling you that this is how it should be, so you believe them. And so I stopped and was rethinking everything, and I made a decision. I'm going to follow what feels good to me, and I still want to be successful. So I've just changed the working environment. I still was working in investment banking, but I've changed the team, I've changed the company. And I did find an environment where that was in line with what feels good to me. And then I felt so much better about myself. And then I could expand. My success was just speeding up so quickly because all of a sudden I had all this energy because I was doing things that feel good to me, and I had all this energy that I could invest in my career, in my inner work, in my development. And since that moment, my success was accelerated. So to recap, should we be aggressive rather than passive in order to succeed? The key thing is, it's not whether you should be one or the other. It is about removing the shoulds. You should do this, you should do that, because those shoulds are the external guidance, external pushes. They don't come from your own feeling what feels good to you. You need to remove those shoulds. Stop following the shoulds and start following what feels good to you. And then you'll have so much energy, whatever field you're working in, you'll have so much energy to invest in what you're doing. And if you reconnect with your passion, you will reach success beyond your imagination. Whatever field you're working in, sometimes people tell you should work in this area rather than that area. There are people, I watched this video where Steve Harvey was giving an example of a person who was cutting grass in the US and had his company. He was so good at cutting grass. He was so passionate about it. He loved it. Then he built his own company and he's cutting grass of all the famous hotels and beautiful venues. And he's a millionaire cutting grass. But he reconnected with what felt good to him. And then he had all this energy to invest in it. And he's successful. So I wish you to reconnect with your true joy, with what feels good to you. I wish you to trust that you can do it. And I wish you success beyond your imagination and times hundreds. Sending you a lot of love and a lot of kisses, and have a beautiful day.